Hi everyone, welcome back to Learning Bridge. I hope you guys are doing good and staying safe. So in today's podcast, we will be having a discussion with Darshil, who is basically a freelance data engineer. So in this podcast, we will majorly discuss on the freelancing with the data engineering domain. And I wanted to create this podcast for my audience who are actually looking forward for the data engineering domain and basically aspiring engineers who are really interested in the big data domain, because you might have heard about the freelancing for other profiles like backend development, front-end development, software engineering profiles, and many others. But this was something interesting because Darshil's journey in this data engineering domain was also very interested. Like, he didn't knew anything about the data engineering in his college time. Then like how he got to know about this domain, why did he quit his stable job in order to pursue his career with the freelancing, and how did he get those clients, how did he get those projects, how much money he's making, how to make a good freelancing profiles, what kind of skills you need to focus on, and multiple other aspects related to the freelancing in this data engineering domain. So this podcast is going to be really interesting for you, so make sure to watch this till the end, and also make sure to share your thoughts, opinions, and advices for the freelancing in the comment section so that other people can also learn something from it. So now, without wasting any further second, let's quickly jump on to the podcast part. So first I would ask you to just give a short introduction about yourself and your academic background.
So yes, thank you, Sashank, for having me here. So I've been watching your channel lately. Okay, so this is like one of the best channel right now in India for data engineers. So I've watched your like step-to-step data engineering and a lot of podcasts with other people, and that was like really great. So about me, I started my main career I did my first diploma in information technology, and then I went for my BTech in KJ Somaiya College. That was also in information technology, and that's how I started my basically the career in the technology world. Yeah, so that's like
So Darshil, how did you start your career in data engineering? Because I know this is the popular domain nowadays. Like most of fresh college grads are liking this big data domain, data engineering part. But since if you talk about myself, I was not that much aware in my time in the college that I was just knowing couple of things, let's say Android development, iOS, and software development, web development. But how did you come to know about this data engineering field? Like, were you that much aware about this domain during your college time itself?
So I had like similar experience as you. Okay, so I did not know everything at the start. Okay, because the college doesn't teach us everything. Okay, so in my case, there was around like 2017-18, there was a big hype around data science. So everyone was like wanted to get into data science. Okay, so I started my career as a software engineer, but in my college I moved into data science and machine learning. So I heard about big data somewhat, but I didn't know exactly what it is. So I started with data science. I did some data science courses and machine learning courses. One was on Coursera, which was N2NG, it's like the one of the best course. So I started my career with that. Okay, and then I got one internship on data science, which was some natural language processing based, where I had to like process some text data to extract tags and questions from like technical books. That was like the first internship I did, and then I got one more internship at mid-sized company, which there I got introduced to the data engineering field. So because of the internship and because of like the working culture, I got into that. The initial plan was to get into data science, but I like data engineering so much that I like now I'm settling to that. Yeah.
Okay, so Darshil, let's move on to the next question which I have for you. And based on our conversation, I got to know about your freelancing journey, and that's why I just wanted to have this podcast on my channel. Like freelancing, that too in data engineering. So it's a good combination actually. So when and how did you decide to quit your stable job and like become freelance data engineer?
So like earlier I said I got the internship at cloud consulting firm on a mid-sized company, right? So I got the full-time job offer over there only. So after my graduation, like when I got done with that, I got the full-time job, and I was working with the company. So the experience I got was over there was like I had like multiple client opportunities. I got to know about a lot of things about how client comes, what is the entire project's life cycle is, and how to talk to clients. So that was like the one of the key factor in my freelancing journey. So when I got the confidence, so one day I decided like, okay, let's try freelancing, because I had like a lot of times after my job. So I like signed up on Fiverr, Upwork, and all those freelancing platforms, and I just started applying for the jobs. So I got my first job in data science. It was not actually the data engineering job, but data science based job. It was about like extracting some data from HTML files and putting that onto database. So that was my first job I got, which paid me around $100. And this is like how I started my like first freelancing career. And I got really excited to it because if you earn in dollars, it's like it makes you like really excited, because it's a new journey. So that's when I started. Then after like 3 to 4 months, I had some stable client base, and I was earning more than, I guess, four times more of my current job salary. And I asked my dad, I want to like pursue this freelancing career and want to quit my job, but there are chances that I might fail. So what do I do? And he said, like, go with it. If you fail, you can always go back to job, so you don't have to worry about it. So like we are young right now, so you don't have like a lot of responsibilities. So I said, okay, let's give it a shot and let's try it. So once I had like little bit stable like clients, that's when I decided to like quit my job and go full time freelancing. So yeah, it's going pretty good so far.
Yeah, that's really good to know. I mean, first thing, like your family supported on to that part, like just quit your job and move into the freelancing. And I can feel like it would have been a tough decision.
I mean,
because quitting something like a stable thing and just move into freelancing where sometimes you like are not sure whether you will get the clients or you'll get the good amount or not.
Yeah. So I still feel that. I mean, even after having like stable career, I still like feel like, okay, what if I lose this client and what if I don't have any work tomorrow? So it's the uncertainty, but you still have like pros that you have freedom and you have good money. So it's like you have to risk it a little bit to get far. So yeah.
That's great. That's great to hear, Darshil. And also, guys, Darshil is running his YouTube channel for the data engineering stuff. So I'll put his channel link in the description. Definitely go and check that out. He used to just share his experience and all the important things related to data engineering. The next question for you, Darshil, like you have been into the full-time role as well, and you are working as a freelancer. So any differences in skill sets for freelance data engineer and full-time data engineer, like whether in freelancing client expects more or they only care about their projects, that's it. So what's the differences?
So I guess the difference we are looking at, like in a full-time job, we have like product-based company and we have like service/consulting. So in the product-based company, generally they have everything set up already. Okay, so they have their own set of working with the tools, everything. But in the consulting/service-based companies, you might have to change your skill set based on the different projects you work on. Okay, so freelancing is somewhat related to consulting/service-based company. So if you compare it with the product-based company, the fundamentals remain same, but the tools might change. So let's say to write ETL jobs, you might use some of the enterprise tool in the product-based company, such as Alteryx, Informatica, etc. But in a startup firm, you might be using just Python code to write the transformation. So the skill set, the fundamentals are the same. There's no need to change that. But the tools might change. The way you do it, it can change companies to companies or the projects to projects. So that is the one thing in the freelancing, that you will have to learn, relearn, and learn new things all the times. You will feel uncomfortable with the projects. You might feel that, okay, I'm not capable of it, but you have to learn it and you have to deliver the project. So I guess main important things are the fundamentals, like Python, learning Python programming language, SQL, understanding the big data services, all those sort of things. Yeah.
So Darshil, like what kind of popular platform do you use for freelancing, and how do you get like your first client for data engineering project?
Yeah. So currently I don't use any platforms because I right now built like stable career with the freelancing. But initially when I got started, I signed up on Upwork, Fiverr.com and Freelancer.com. So two platforms that give me like good jobs was Fiverr and Upwork. Upwork was like one of the best one. So after getting like small jobs, I got my first data engineering client. It's like a small company they were looking for a person who can pull the data from some RDBMS and build some dashboard on that is built on the data warehouse. Okay. So basically my job was to build the AWS entire architecture for that and build the final dashboard for that. So they wanted to migrate everything to data warehouse and then build the dashboard according to the business requirements. So like that was my first job, and that was hourly paid job. So earlier I got all the fixed big jobs. So I used to get around like $80, $100, somewhere like that. but my first job gave me like $30 an hour, which was like the miracle in my life. Because if you are working in an Indian company, you might get like 50 to 1 lakh fixed salary, okay, in the job. But if you work for those clients as a freelancer, you might be earning those money in like within a week. So it completely depends, how you do it. So I guess that is like the first my good data engineering project that I got started, and then I started getting a lot of clients with that. So
like when you started, right, with different platforms like Upwork, Fiverr, to see clients' attention, can you share some important tips to create good profile on freelancing platforms? If something is related to proposal based, then how to do it efficiently?
So, I mean, for the first month, I did not get any clients. Okay, I was just submitting proposal after proposal, and I did not get single client. But after suffering for around a month, I found my sweet spot, like how to approach a client. So this is the strategy I used, and this might work for you. So most of the times when a client posts a job, he will get like 20 to 30 proposals within an hour. Okay, it's like data science, data engineering are like the competitive field right now. So to get the client attention, most of the people start like this. Okay, hey, I read your job description and I can help you to solve it. It's like the already written job; they just copy paste it. Okay, but you don't have to do that each and every time. What you need to do whenever I just read any job description, I first research about the problems, whether I can solve it or not. Okay, if I can solve it, what are the ways I can solve it? Okay, so once I do my research, that takes around like half an hour to 1 hour. Then you start your proposal like, hey, I have two solutions for these problems. Okay, this is the first solution. We can do this way, and this is the second solution. We can approach this problem this way. If you have 10 minutes, then let's get on a call, and I can explain you how we can do it efficiently. Okay, so this is how you get the client attention, by directly providing the solution rather than talking about yourself, because clients don't want to hear about you. They want to solve their problem. That's why like they're on the platform, right? So first you provide a solution, and then you attach your personal work background. You can also say that, okay, I've attached some architecture diagrams and dashboards that I've worked previously for other clients. So you can find that, and then you talk about yourself. Okay, I've been working in this field for 3 to 5 years. This can be like pre-written message, which you put it on the end. So this is like first you give the solution, then you get clients to on the call, because even if the first step is to get reply from the client, because he gets 30 to 40 proposals every day. So but once you get the reply, then you get on the call, then you close the client. So it's like the one step-by-step approach. So first step is to get reply, and this is like most difficult task right now. So first focus on your solution rather than focusing and introducing yourself. Yeah, because that is the first most important skill that worked for me.
Darshil, like, is freelancing safe and stable? Like, I would definitely ask this question because everybody, like, I would say 90% of folks who will watch this video, they will think that, okay, this guy talked about freelancing and full-time offer, but I still don't feel that much comfortable quitting my job and pursue freelancing as a like full-time career option. So like whether it is safe and stable, and if you want to share like your approximate earnings, like how much money do you earn on average from data engineering projects as a freelancer?
So like, let's answer the first question, is it safe or not? So it completely depends on like which part of the life you are right now. Okay, so I'm 23. Okay, I have nothing to lose. So if I don't get clients like for 1 year, okay, that's like the worst case. I can still go back to job and do some work over there. Okay. So if you are like early 20s, then go for it, because it will push you to be self-sufficient. Okay, and it will give you the freedom to do whatever you want to do. So if you are in that phase, then go for it. If you are in like if you are not sure, then do it with your job. Okay, so that is like how I started. I started with my job, and once I got like stable clients, then I decided to quit my job. So it took me like 1 hour to click on that resignation letter. Okay, because I was like doing all the pros and cons list. Like, okay, what if I fail? What if I pass? Okay, so your brain will always tell you that worst case, and it will try to save you every time. That okay, don't risk it. Don't play it like a failure. Okay, try to be safe. Don't go near that. Okay, but if you really want to get ahead in your life, I guess that is like first step you need to take, is to take little bit risk and go with it. Okay, then start with that. And about the earning, I feel that initially I used to earn like 1 to 1.5 lakhs. My job used to pay me 50,000 a month, but the freelancing was like more than that. And then once I started earning around between 2 to 3 lakhs, that's when I decided to quit my job, because
Okay.
I was earning more in my freelancing by working less over there. And it used to take, my job used to take my around 9 to 10 hours, and freelancing used to take 5 hours. So it was like complete different scenario at that moment. So I was like, okay, let's go with this. Okay, let's see what happens. Even if we fail, okay, we can go back to job and do this thing. But if we succeed, okay, there's also like other coin, right? So other side of the coin is like, what if you succeed? What if you had like get many clients and you become like top freelancer? Then your life will completely change. So that's how I like freelancing actually like gave me the freedom to do whatever I want. So right now, from the job to freelancing and now starting my YouTube career, it's like step-by-step process to grow yourself and understand the world better. I mean, that is like the good thing happened. Yeah.
So, Darshil, I'll wrap up this session with one last final question.
Okay.
Like, there are very less opportunities in data engineering as a fresher. Like, I'm hearing this term. I used to get lots of ping from freshers that we are actually interested in data engineering domain, but if we look for the career pages of different companies, or any companies are visiting our college for the recruitment, they don't consider freshers for the data engineering role. Probably after 1 year, 2 years, they will consider us. So what's your thought on this, and what would you advise to aspiring data engineers, whether they are college grads or someone who is trying to take a move from software engineering or any other domain to the data engineering?
So I guess, look, that is true. Like companies generally don't hire freshers for this position because, all right, you need to handle a lot of data again, and company can't risk that, right?
Correct.
So the best way to get started is to do internships, which I talked about, because this is how my lot of friends also got started, and right now they're earning really good money. So if you can get internship in your college, or if you want to switch career, even that, okay, so you can do some online courses on the fundamentals, understand how big data works, what is the difference between OLTP and OLAP, okay? There are open source tools such as Hadoop, Spark, and then learn cloud technologies. That is like one of the most important. Learn any cloud like AWS, GCP, or Azure. Pick one, just go with it. Learn services of the big data around it, okay?
Okay.
First, learn the skill set required little bit, so you will get the confidence how the industry works. Then apply for the internships, even if it's unpaid, okay? Because I did 2 unpaid internships before getting my actual job. So even if you have to do for the experience or like for that certificate of experience, just do that and get started with it, because you have to work hard. There's like no alternative to working hard. So you have to put some amounts of work over there to actually get the end result. So don't focus on like end journey, focus on the process, how you will go one by one. And you actually have like one of the good video on step by step becoming a data engineer. So I really liked it because it covers all the skills required. You don't really need to know like in the beginning of your career, but as you go forward, you will learn about all the other cloud services. Like in Amazon, you don't really need to know about security, but as you go forward in your experience, you will learn about VPC, how to secure data, what are the data privacy issues, okay? So you will learn as your experiences. But initially, there are some fundamental skills. You learn it with the online courses or the blogs or any videos, and then you go.
So that's great, Darshil, I would say, and it was a really nice session, and I really liked this discussion with a freelancer, because I'm working as a full-time engineer, so I really wanted to know, okay, data engineering with freelance, what kind of thing it is, and pros, cons, everything you have explained really well. I hope like all the aspiring data engineers or the IT professional will find this podcast really useful. And do share your thoughts in the comment, like what you feel about the freelancing, and if you have any questions, anything, just feel free to put it in the comment section. And don't forget to check out Darshil's channel, do subscribe it. So thank you so much, Darshil, for joining this podcast and sharing your valuable experiences and valuable advices for the freelancing.
That's my pleasure. Thank you.
So that was all about this podcast, guys. I hope you would have liked the entire conversation with Darshil about the freelancing for data engineering domain. And if you liked it, then make sure to give a thumbs up to this video and share it with your other friends. I will see you guys in the next video with another amazing podcast. Till then, just stay safe, stay home, take care of yourself and your family too.